Xi Jinping opening the event on Sunday like he has in the past, laying out his nationalistic vision for the country's future. But this year is like any other because after 10 years in power, Xi is poised to be selected for an unprecedented third term as party leader. It is a watershed moment for modern China and, as Selena Wang reports now, one that was years in the making.
From a nation of farming villages to sprawling metropolises, in recent history, no country modernized as rapidly as China. And in just one decade, no person has changed China more than its supreme leader, Xi Jinping. His image inescapable, his thinking indoctrinated in school children. His key message, make China great again, but above all else, obey and follow his lead. When he took control of the Chinese Communist Party in 2012, there was hope that the relatively low-key leader would make China's economy and society more liberal. But Xi had a different vision, restore the country to its former glory, with his Communist Party firmly at its center.
Xi Jinping sits on top of the party sits on top of China, and China sits on top of the world. That's basically the program.
Xi's China is investing heavily in new technologies, infrastructure, rapidly modernizing the countryside and the military. He's reasserted party control over business and society.
Okay, let's be real. When China says we're going to make China great, they actually do that though, okay? Like, look at it. Look at the, we're going to make China great again. How much did he talk about trans people? I don't understand, because when someone says we're going to make America great again, I immediately think no spending on infrastructure, none of that, okay? We gotta shit on trans people. That's right. There's a 14-year-old girl in Iowa that tried to go to the swim meet. Can you believe it, folks? Iowa! Like, what the fuck? Wait, what do you mean? We gotta build a big, beautiful wall. The Great Wall of China just got 10 feet higher. I don't get it. The only trans he focuses on is portation. Yeah, transportation.
Most sophisticated surveillance state, quashing people's freedom.
Bro, he banned effeminate men in media, and you think he's a champion of LGBT rights? First and foremost, I've literally never said that Xi Jinping is a fucking champion of LGBT rights, okay? I do not think that. I'm just simply mentioning that when America says we're going to make America great again, that is often associated with like trying to dunk on like trans people or just like making ridiculous fucking statements that are completely irrelevant to like, I don't know, beefing up American infrastructure, as a matter of fact. So considering this to be like a nationalistic vision, when it's accompanied by like social services and whatnot and social safety nets that you are you're baking into some of the most underserved places, like you're straight up talking about a country like the United States of America, the wealthiest nation on earth, that is rapidly shutting down hospitals in urban areas. Meanwhile, Xi Jinping is talking about urbanizing all of the rural areas of China, which is a gigantic fucking swath of land to begin with. That's crazy to me. They're like, it's so bad. This nationalistic vision is terrifying. Meanwhile, you're associating with making trains.
During the pandemic with brutal lockdowns. Xi Jinping crushed dreams of democracy in Hong Kong, oversaw the internment.
LGBT, yeah, that's right. He put the G in LGBT. Anyway.
Up to 2 million Uyghurs and other minorities in Xinjiang in what Beijing claims are vocational training centers. He's amping up intimidation of Taiwan, vowing to reunite the democratic island with the mainland. China tells its people these actions are long overdue. fueled by the narrative that after 100 years of subjugation by foreign powers in the 19th and 20th centuries, China is finally assuming its rightful place in the world. Anyone who disagrees is blamed for trying to undermine China's rise and quickly censored or even jailed.
Here,
That's crazy. You know, I can't believe they're doing that. Police brutality exclusive to the Chinese government. It's not right when they do it either, by the way. I'm not saying it's right, but it is pretty funny when you think about it. They're like, what? The police are brutalizing and jailing protesters? Oh my God. That's crazy, bro.
he is going back to his mythical vision of Chinese history when China was the greatest civilization and the rest of the world just followed the leadership of China.
That framing has ripple effects around the world. China no longer believes it needs to play by American-led international rules. When the U.S. tries to take China on in trade, technology, or human rights,
So that simply reinforces the sense of China under siege from Western powers. I think it has a visceral, emotional appeal in China.
the country is building its own multilateral institutions that are friendlier to autocrats. China grows ever closer.
What? Bro. Pretty much this video you can cut about America except for like the good shit. You know what I mean? Like trains, transportation, and genuinely genuinely modernizing farmland. That's it. Like it's America, but with like some good parts on top of it. Okay. She said China is setting up shop in countries that are friendly to autocrats. Like what? Were you at French Laundry yesterday? I don't know where the fuck French Laundry is, man. If you think I leave my house instead of playing Valorant and watching anime, you are delusional.
To Russia, unified by a common foe. In Xi Jinping's China dream, the country is glorious and strong, with the Communist Party ruling 1.4 billion people and shaping a new world order. Selena Wang, CNN, Hong Kong.
And I'm joined now by Stephen Zhang, CNN's Beijing bureau chief, and also senior international correspondent Will Ripley, who's standing by in Taipei. First to you, Stephen. 24 hours later, how has Mr. Xi's speech been received? What's your read?
Well, Michael, in this country, the speech can only be received in one way, with resounding support and enthusiasm, as we have seen, at least publicly from state media and social media by...
All the coverage I've seen of this thus far has been like NPR and all other American outlets being like, doesn't seem like Xi Jinping's power is going to be, his power is waning anytime soon. As a consequence of the past 10 years of, the Chinese economy prospering, but also on top of that, even some of his most ridiculous actions, such as the COVID shutdowns, are being seen within the party infrastructure as an overall net positive. Like, they're just like, they're like upset that my man is, seen as like a relatively popular figure, at least amongst those who are in, close proximity to power, who are in positions of power. China economy is stagnating though lately. Also, a zero COVID strat is really human unfriendly. I don't even disagree. I agree. I think that their COVID shutdown protocols and the uncertainty of how long those protocols will continue is genuinely fearful for a lot of people. It's not great. But also, you could just say that overall, he is still popular. You could say that. And for people who are like bringing up Xinjiang, for example, it's, how do I describe it? It's a human rights violation. I understand that. I mention it, right? Having said that, however, if you are looking at the angle of like, does it impact his popularity? Of course not. Do you think Americans give a shit when Haitian people that are coming over the border, for example, are dying? No, they don't. 52 undocumented migrants were dead inside of a fucking 18-wheeler. And that didn't even make the fucking mainstream news for longer than 30 seconds. You think that changes the popularity of a leader? No, of course not. They don't see the Uyghurs as anything but separatists, okay? It's just, for the most part, they don't even think about it. It's not even a consideration. If you're going to talk about people like Jack Ma or whatever, if you're going to talk about like billionaires and the way that the Chinese government controls billionaires, then they absolutely, that is a popular provision. That is not something that people are upset about. There is no like Chinese understanding beyond Chinese prosperity. There is no Chinese understanding of like, oh, one day I'm going to make it. I'm going to be a fucking billionaire just like Jack Ma. That's an American attitude that you're placing upon Chinese citizens. I don't think they give a shit. I think the understanding overall is, look, as long as I keep my head down and don't talk about shit that I'm not supposed to be talking about, I know that the government is taking care of me, okay? That's the way, as far as I understand it, with my both Western-centric opinion and also some with my proximity to Chinese culture in China, in mainland China. This is the way that it has been described to me, is that you just have this understanding that like the government is going to control a lot of aspects of your life, but ultimately, if you fucking keep your head down, you know that they got your back.